Welcome. Today we're going to discuss the QuickBooks Chart of Account update and the Restoration 1 National Accounts invoicing process. This video was recorded on April 1st, 2018. In this process, we're going to have to do a couple things. I'll walk you through the QuickBooks Online version and the QuickBooks Desktop version so you can easily set that up. As we do this, I want you to be mindful that if you have a little bit of different chart of accounts, it's okay, but we want to make sure that this is clean and consistent as possible. So we'll add those two different ones. We're going to also add two different services or items to the product or services so that the invoice calculates correctly for the national account billing process. As you know, if you're watching this video, there is going to be a dispatch fee and a claim management fee associated with all Restoration 1 national account work, and we'll go through that. So it's be very simple. I'm going to pull up some live QuickBooks and some demo QuickBooks accounts so you can see how to do it inside of your own. I'll also give you the account numbers so they match real clean to your current chart of account. So let's first start. We're going to start with the QuickBooks Online. So majority of our users are on QuickBooks Online, so we'll start with our QuickBooks Online, and then we'll move to our QuickBooks Desktop. If you're using QuickBooks Online, you don't need to watch the QuickBooks Desktop version. Let me go ahead and we're going to log in. Just simply log into your QuickBooks account. I have mine pulled up, and I'm going to pull it up right now. And get in. So sign into your account. And the first step, once you log in, I'm going to go ahead and update. I've gotten permission to update this particular account. First thing you want to do is we're going to go ahead and click on the sprocket in the top right hand corner. So click that sprocket, gear, whatever you want to call it. Then move over to your chart of accounts. And then as you can see right here, we've got all of our chart of accounts associated. We're going to go down to the 500 accounts. And specifically, we're looking for the referral fee account. So this is going to be 517. And what we want to do is we're going to put some sub-accounts associated with 517. As of today, you've probably booked all of your referral fees to your plumbers and other referral sources to this account. But just to make sure that we're understanding our acquisition costs and keeping it the same, we're going to put that underneath our 517 account. So go ahead and scroll up to the top right, click New, and navigate. Now, let me make sure, I want everybody to look. When you navigate, the first step to always do is select the account type first. So in this particular instance, it's going to be a cost of good account. And notice that it does cost of labor. Now, obviously, you can pick the detail account. I'm not as concerned about that because those are not user defined in QuickBooks Online. Also note that if you've added a few accounts, especially if you're on the essential versions, as of just in the last month or so, that there is a limit to 250 chart of accounts before you have to upgrade. But go ahead and just do other costs of services. And when we do that, what we're going to do is we'll just go ahead and we're gonna set this one to 517.2, and we're gonna name this claim. We'll do R1 National Account Claim Management piece. Now, just for simple purposes, we'll just go in and we're just gonna do that for claim management fees. And we could obviously have this for other providers. We could get detailed as far as a specific type of TPA or something like that. But for this instance, we're just going to put it all in this. And it's going to be R1 claim management fees. And go ahead and hit save and close. But before you do that, click your sub account. And that sub account is going to be that 517 account. And make sure that it's set. And hit save. Now notice that I did that 517.2 account. There's other ways that we can track is go ahead and do cost of goods. Again, on this one, we're going to add one more account just to make sure it's really clean. Go ahead and make this one 517.1. Make sure that you set your sub account. And see where it says 517, we'll do plumbing referral fees. And make that there. So 517.1, 517.2 will be the claim management fees. So save and close. And notice on side of our chart of accounts, you'll see that it's very clean, 517. If you want to track your other referral fees, you can do that. If you really want to just have one there and you just want to say referral sources or HVAC, you can add 517.3 and go ahead and lock those down. Don't worry about that as much on the cost of labor. If you want to change that detail type, you can. Not a huge deal as we don't run many reports off the detail type. So 517.1 and 517.2, go ahead and add those to your account and you're set. Next, what we'll do is we're going to scroll down and we're going to add this because the majority of the dispatch fee covers multiple different things. But we're going to look for our software, and this is going to be in our 600s. And notice it's going to be at that 619. Obviously, the dispatch fee includes software costs, handling the call center, handling the person that's actually dispatching, some of the mapping, those kind of things. But we're going to put that in here. Go ahead and put it at 619.7. And if you've already created another one, because of your software, that's okay. Just make sure you make it a sub account 619.8 or 9 or 10, 11, however you want to do it. As long as it's underneath this one and we clearly define it, we're okay with it. So make sure you scroll up to the top. 619 will add new. Having a little bit of an issue here with our clicks. Sometimes it might freeze up on you. So I'm going to refresh here. And I'm going to go back into our chart of accounts if it freezes on you. Click new. There we go. It's working. This particular account is going to be an expense account. So we'll look for just expenses. And detail account. And if you want to go ahead and just put this one as other business expenses or office administrative expenses, probably right here, other business expenses. And when we look for our sub account, we're going to have it at 619. And we'll name our account number 619.7. And we're going to have this as dispatch fees. And if you want to make a note, we did not make it. These are going to be dispatch fees paid to R1 corporate office or R1 national account work. And we'll just key that way if you've got a bookkeeper and or if you're doing it, you remember which one it's for. 619.7, dispatch fees, go ahead and hit close. Save and close. It's right there underneath that one. And if you want to, go ahead and let's go back to the 517.2 account. And let's just make this one, let's make a description here. And if I can type. I'll just do national account work, and there is a limit here. So national accounts, I'll do this one, national accounts. Make sure it's set. We'll go ahead and save that. And you're set. So those are the two ones that you want to set. Then as we do that, obviously you can add those. Go ahead and click on your sprocket. Now we're going to have to adjust the item list. And so we'll go right here to the products or service list. Is also the same thing in QuickBooks Online. It's called item list in your QuickBooks desktop. In this particular one, we're going to add dispatch fees. So we'll go ahead and set this. And here's probably the easiest way to look at this. Click your sprocket. Let's see what we're doing here. Sometimes you can adjust your columns here. That's okay. That'll work. Looks like they've already got it customized. Here, let's just hit new. And this particular one, you're going to do a service. And let's go ahead and name this dispatch fees. Now, we can have multiple ones as we continue to grow. You could have a dispatch fee for specific national accounts, but we'll just keep it generic right now. And don't worry about it. If you want to put a category here for your items, if you're using categories, you can. It's not necessary. But if you want to do a description, these are going to be dispatch fees paid to R1. Now, this is very important. In this particular case, you're going to put negative $20. And essentially what that does is instead of crediting the income account, it's going to debit the income account. And then it will then, in turn, basically debit. It's going to credit the income by negative amount. And then it will then debit the expense account and increasing the expense account. With that increase, it's going to lower your income and it's going to increase the expense account in that particular chart of account in our 619.7 account. So I'll show you exactly how that works. So make sure you on your income, go ahead and put this to 619.7 and go to dispatch fees, and that'll be a negative 20, and save and close. Go ahead and add one more and go ahead and add service and just say R1 claim management fee. Don't have to pick a category, and these are just going to be claim management fees based off a percentage of gross collected sales. put that there. We'll move up to our claim management account, which is going to be in our cost of goods. We're going to treat this kind of like a referral fee. So 517.2. Now in this particular case, in QuickBooks Online, you can't do anything with the sales price because this is going to be a percentage. If you're using QuickBooks Desktop, it's a little bit easier process, but just do claim management fees. Add that to that 517.2, and we'll go ahead and save and close. Once that happens, we're going to create an invoice, and I'll show you that process. If we go to sales here, and let's click on sales, we'll click on invoices, and we're going to book this. And this is so when you're ready to bill out your national account work and you're creating that invoice to upload into Encircle, this is where you want to pay very close attention to make sure that your numbers are right. Now here's the important part. Your royalties are calculated off gross collected sales. In this particular case, you will be invoicing the full amount, and the royalties will be off gross, right? And it's not net. So you will, for example, if we bill out $10,000, you'll be paying royalties on $10,000, not the net. That's how it's set up. That's how the franchise agreement is set up. So on the customer here, these guys should have us in here already. Let's see if we're in here. Restoration One Franchise Holding LLC. That's our thing. Notice that this address is incorrect. If you like our new address, you can simply Google it and look for and it's going to be this one right here. So right here, and it's 5117, I believe, Steinbeck Bend. So, or 5113, excuse me, is our address. So we've obviously operated a couple different locations out of this place with the Restoration One Waco here. So go ahead and enter that, update your information there. Now let's do that example of the $10,000. We'll pick our product or service, and in this example, we're going to just put a water damage mitigation. Let's say it's a water job, and let's say our price was $10,000. There's our $10,000. Then we're going to select our claim management fees, which is going to be right here. In this case, and for our accounts right now, it's at 5%. So we'll do a $500. Now, it's very important is that you're going to, when you do this, when you're creating an invoice, and I might not have been as clear on the video just a minute ago, is when I'm creating that, typically, when you're creating an invoice, it is going to credit revenue and debit your accounts receivable account. And so when you go in and you do a negative credit on your income account, obviously it's going to lower that instead of increase that amount. And then it will debit your expense account. And so it's very important that that number is at a negative $500. It's very similar to a discount if you're using discounts, but we're putting it right to there. And then your dispatch fee, go ahead and select that. That's going to be your fee. And note that we already have that defaulted for this account is at $20. If we go ahead and we save that, I'm going to go ahead and I'll save it. And the balance due, when you send us the invoice, we'll see that. You're going to book that revenue. And what we'll book in our accounts payable system here at the home office is the $9,480. Obviously, when we bill the national account, we'll maintain that difference. So I'll go ahead and save that. And that'll be booked. Now, note here, as we do that, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to run a quick report here. Now, this is a live QuickBooks account, so I'll have to do that. This is our franchise location down in Austin, and gracious enough to let us use this as a quick demo account. I'm just going to back this one up, and I'm just going to do it for today, so we'll know that exactly what we're dealing with. So we'll do April. And April 4th, run the report. Now, obviously, you can see that they've already invoiced a couple things today in their business, but you'll notice there's that $10,000 invoice that I created also. So it books that full $10,000. Notice that the referral fees in 517.2 is there, that 500, and notice that the 619.7 dispatch fee is there. Also, as we go over to our accounts receivable in our system, I'm going to right click and open that in a new tab. Let's go into our balance sheet. I'll scroll down here, and you'll notice right here the Restoration 1 Franchise Holdings. It's going to show that their balance sheet is going to be set, and it will only be that $9,480 that they're owed, and that's what they see. So when they receive that payment via ACH, they'll be able to book that and match it to that exact amount. In that case, as we do this, and I'm going to show you one other example, your accounts receivable is set right. Your profit and loss statement is set correctly, and your $10,000 is set correctly. The other thing, notice as you do your monthly sales reporting for the month, in this example, I'm just going to, if I do cash and I run the report, obviously these are the things that they received today. But I'm going to run the report, and I'm going to hit the $10,000, and I'm just going to go ahead and receive this payment. Receive the payment, and I'm just going to go save. All right, and so that we've received that payment. Now note, as we do that, and I go in, is we did receive $9,480. We'll go back to our profit and loss report. And I'm going to change it to cash. And I'm just going to note it for today. That way it's ready to go. And notice as I do that for the $10,000, that's the amount that you received technically, right? We went ahead and wrote those expenses off already. That way there wasn't money moving back and forth and sending bills. And that will be your number that you will be calculating your royalties for the RMS system and entering that in there. So just note, for this all to work properly, you've got to do it that way. That way your cash collection is correct. If you are just working off your bank statement, you will then be underreporting your sales for your royalty reports. So make sure you get that process as clean as possible and go through that. So very simple, add 2 different chart of accounts and 2 items or products or services for the dispatch and claim management fees. We're going to add them under the referral fees and also underneath the software. So 517 and 619, and that should take care of it. That concludes the part of the QuickBooks Online. So if you're not a QuickBooks Desktop user, you can go ahead and end that video. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the process up. And I'm going to show you the very similar, same way to set it up for your QuickBooks Desktop users. On your QuickBooks Desktop, it's a little easier. We'll go back here. I've already got our chart of accounts pulled up. So if you'll go to List, Chart of Accounts, that's there. Scroll down to 517. You'll see that. That's our referral fees. We're going to add a couple there. And so right click is what I did, hit new account. Make sure you put it as an expense account. But this is not going to be an expense account. So go ahead and click other types of accounts and do cost of goods sold. Click continue. And we're going to do the same process. And we're going to make this one 517.2. and we're going to name it R1 Claim Management Fees. It will also be a sub-account of 517, and it'll be set. Go ahead. Obviously, you've probably booked most of your accounts to referral fees to 517. So if you're booking a lot of accounts, go ahead and let's add another account. Let's go to other account types. Let's go to cost of goods sold. Click continue. Do 517.1 and make sure you put your sub account here. And so this is going to be a sub account of referral fees. And then we'll put plumbing referral fees. Save and close. Also note, if you want to go ahead and make a note here, edit your account. Percentage of collected sales paid to Restoration One corporate for national account work. Note that right there in your description and click save and close. You're going to do the same process for our dispatch fees. We'll go down to our 619 account. Let's go ahead and right click, click new, click expense account, click continue, and we'll name this one dispatch fees. We'll make it a sub account of 619. $619.2, and these will be dispatch fees paid to R1 Corp for national account work. Go ahead and save that. Save and close. 619.2 sub account of, sorry, let me back that up. Misspoke. Sorry, it's going to be 619.7. Okay. It's not a big deal. If you've already added a different account for a specific software, that's okay. Just get it underneath 619. 619.7 is the account that we'll set it up as a standard. And if you need it, it needs to be 8 or 9, that's fine as well. So save and close. And notice that we have the dispatch fees here. That's the majority of that's covering the software cost and the call center and the dispatch person. And then notice under our 500 account, that plumbing referral fee, and then that 517 R1 claim management fees. That's set. You're ready to go. You have your chart of account set. We'll do our item list next. Very simple process to do here is right click again, hit new item. If you want to put a different category or something like that, you can. But in QuickBooks Desktop, you've got some other options. You can go ahead and book this as a discount. And if you want to do dispatch fees, and then we can note that. And in this particular one, we're going to do a set amount of $20. And we're going to book it to the 619.7 account, $20. You can make it taxable or non-taxable. I would assume in most cases it's going to be non-taxable 99.99% of the time. And go ahead and hit OK. And note here is if you watch the QuickBooks Online video, if you book this as a discount, you do not have to put a negative 20 here. A positive 20 will work. It's knowing that it's going to be a negative when it pulls it in. So it's a little different user interface and user experience than the online version. Go ahead and hit close, just doing our spell check. And then let's go add one more new item. That new item is going to be a discount as well. And we're going to do R1 claim management fees. sub item. You don't need to do that. If you wanted to do a group, you could, but we'll just leave it very simple now. In this particular case, you're going to do a percentage, right? And so just go ahead and note 5% and make sure it's set as a discount. Go ahead and click OK. It's going to probably be non-taxable. Click all right, OK. Oh, I went ahead and note that I didn't select the item. And this item is going to go to 517.2. Click OK. And let's click home. We'll create an invoice here. And I'll show you exactly how that works. Create invoice. You want to do it to our Restoration One Holding LLC. Select your item, and your first item will be, let's say, for example, this is going to be a $10,000 water damage mitigation. $10,000. Then go ahead and pull, and you want to do this one in specific order. Do the R1 claim management fees, and note that I didn't put a negative in the item, but it went ahead and did it as a negative 5%. It went ahead and calculated me for that. Make sure you do that one first in QuickBooks Desktop. Then do your dispatch fee and you're set. And note that it's going to book $9,480 is what the net amount is. If I save and close, essentially what's going to happen here is we're going to book $10,000. It's asking if I want to do credit, so I'm going to say no. We'll run a quick report. It's going to book the full $10,000 that's associated with the account. Notice it books the $500 in expenses, so you're able to write that off. The same way with the dispatch fee on 619.7. And inside of your balance sheet, quick balance sheet standard. All right, there it goes. It's bundling here. Now, obviously, I've got some challenges here. But with that being said, here's our number right there. I had some test ones that I did previously, but that's that $9,480 that's on the balance sheet, not the it's not the full $10,000. So if I go in here and I actually receive that payment, and I book the payment, and I'll go in and I'll click our home screen. Let's go to receive payments. Do our customer here. Let's book it. Say I've gotten that paid. It's been ACH'd in your account. Save and close. We'll click back over to our profit and loss statement. Should be in our open windows. If I select this now to customize report, if I'm doing my monthly royalty report, it's still going to book the $10,000 as the income. Your royalties are booked off gross collected sales. Obviously, we're calculating the management fee and the dispatch fee through there, but it's still calculated off that $10,000. So that's the proper way to set up your chart of accounts and your item list, and the proper way to invoice when you have a national account. Make sure that you're putting it in that way. Also, make sure you're uploading your final invoice, that invoice inside of the Encircle claim. That way we've got a copy of it. It's clean on your books, and we'll get it paid as fast as possible. Thank you and have a great day.